Conscious Growing Gardener family, YouTube, what's going on? So I just wanted to drop a little quick video real quick on my way to work. I just stop and get me something to eat. I hate eating this food, but I'm hungry and I gotta grab something real quick, something in my stomach before I start my day. So I usually like to eat breakfast at home, but I didn't have time this morning. So um, I just want to say something real quick. I know that a lot of these platforms and a lot of people in our country uh, think they're politically sound and they have their side and what they believe in and all that. You don't, messing with people's beliefs. People get emotional and they get in their feelings about shit and they start calling you names. And if you think differently outside the box from other people, if you think a different type of way, you know, uh, people automatically attack you and try to censor you, whatever they can. It's a thing in this country where we've learned in this world, period. I ain't gonna say in this country, in this world, we figured out if you don't agree with everything I say or how I feel politically or religiously or emotionally, then I'm not fucking with you. And then it's gotten so bad that you got people actually getting on TV shows and radio shows talking about other people that's saying things that's different than what they believe or agree with. What happened? What happened to freedom of speech? What happened to where we could have different ideas? Oh, yeah, number two, the orange. We could have different ideas and we could share those things. You know what I'm saying? Across platforms or just with each other, and you know what I'm saying, and connect, and even agree to disagree, right? No, not even not no, we're not even that. We call each other. We call each other. We call it name calling. You trying? We call me name calling. We call each other idiots. You know what I'm saying? You pointing out little tidbits of you would take one thing somebody said, and because you don't agree with the second thing they said, you'll take something they said, and you might disagree with that too, but you keep running that into the ground to make it seem like the person, like they try to, basically what they try to do is try to make you look crazy, you know. And if you talking in code where you just can't really talk out and just say what you really feel, you can only say tidbits here and there for your, as you know, because I'm gonna tell you something. Freedom of speech ain't free. It come with a cost. You free to say what you want to say, but you're not free of those consequences. And here's the thing: people are so emotionally in their little heart and little felt like people go ahead of you to block. Like if you know something about a group of people or you say something about a group of there's people that have stepped up ahead of you, knowing that people were probably going to eventually say something and say, hey, if you say this, then this is what this is. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay for black people, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this because I'll be melanated. It's okay for black people to get on the microphone and call each other, niggas, and we can call Spanish people can call each other spinks. We can call women bitches and hoes. All of this stuff that we do, in our music and everything else, right? But you better not say nothing else about any culture, anybody else's race, anybody what they doing financially, anybody that's dominating or ruling over you. You know what I'm saying? Like if I like for example, when you live in a city, right, and they got like you got to plug your electrical gas, right? They might only have one electric company or one gas company. You know what I'm saying? And you might not have another option to go into another gas company, another electric company. That's the city. That's what the city has. That's what you're stuck with, right? So that's how these people do. They want to monopolize everything. They want to monopolize the airwaves. They want to monopolize the speech that's coming out of people's mouth. So they use censorship and they shut people down if they're saying something that somebody else doesn't like. This is no longer America, as you guys can say. This is no longer the America that has the Constitution. It's always been just an idea. It's always just been an idea. It's never really been a true promise, because anytime somebody has a different rhetoric or a different belief system or a different religion or they speaking change over something that's been going on for like ever, then they're racist, they're anti this, they're this, they're that. They got all these words that they got set up for you if you feel like you ain't going along with their agenda. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's just like, it is what it is. It's unfair. It's scrutinizing. It's not the America that they talk about in the dream, right? You can plainly tell even from like this everyday. I'm in the car. I was just listening to the radio, and you can just hear all the biasness. I can't even listen to the radio. Like I want to hear music when I'm watching. Two of my favorite things to listen to radio: sports radio and just my my R&B. I listen to hip hop, whatever. I listen to music and stuff. Even while I'm listening to the radio, you can hear the biasness. It's not nobody's unbiased anymore. You can hear the biasness in these people that's commenting over the radio about different subject matters. And it's one thing to give your opinion. It's another thing to be on there like you just spitting facts. Because this person don't agree with your political background, or they don't believe your religion this way. Then it's what I'm saying. I remember it used to be worse than that. It's gotten a lot better. You used to couldn't say you was a Muslim in this country. People look at you like you're crazy. Even though I'm not a Muslim, I'm just saying.
Sausage, egg, McMuffin,
yes.
hash brown, and a medium horseshoe.
Yep, thank you.
Thank you.
Yep, enjoy your day. I'm not even I'm a, you know what I'm saying, I would consider myself a spiritual being. I wouldn't even consider myself a religious being, religious period. But I remember back in the day, if you was a Muslim in this country, they look at you like you was a traitor to this country and all this carrying on. They always, America is always America. I love my country, but let me tell you something. The country don't always love you. You know what I'm saying? The rules don't always love you. The people don't always love you. And then here's the thing. And then the judgmental attitudes of our people. Not, and I ain't talking about skin color. I'm talking about Americans. I'm talking about all Americans. It's ridiculous. Like they'll be so judgmental and do it so long that they teach the kids how to be that way. But then they want to turn around and say, well, let's not judge people for their sexual connotation. Let's not judge people because of that. And that's cool. That's a good way to start. Being not being so judgmental. But if how you gonna drop judging somebody because of their sexual preference, but then pick up judging somebody because of their beliefs when it comes to politics, like what they believe politically, or who they parties, or who they down with, or it's just you go from one extreme to the other. You know what I'm saying? To see what I start to see is whatever fits these people's narrative on judgment. It's okay to judge that and judge that. Like if I was on here, talking, bad about a certain politician or something, they'll be playing that shit, blasting it. But if I'm on here talking bad about a politician that they like and they want to win, then they'll censor me and shut me the fuck down. So, you know what I'm saying? So basically, you can't really have your own say so, because all these platforms are all ran by certain religious and political people, and if you're affecting their bottom line, then they gonna shut you down, which means these media platforms, these social media platforms, these radio stations, these TV stations, even these Instagrams, YouTube, whatever, they all politically driven, and they all ran, you know what I'm saying, by people who people want to talk about, oh, we just fact checking. What you also censoring too. You know what I'm saying? You also censoring people that say things, if you know what I'm saying, that you particularly don't want to be said. And then watch this: if you a superstar, right? Because that ain't gonna stop them. Because you see how they did Kanye. They shut his Twitter down too. And you see they did the president. They shut his Twitter down too. How you shutting down the president's Twitter? When Donald Trump was the president, I don't care what he's saying. You know what I'm saying? You don't shut that man's Twitter down. What's wrong with y'all people? Crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't even vote for Donald Trump. But I'm like, you don't shut the president's Twitter down, right? Y'all ain't finna show Joe Biden's Twitter down. It's just ridiculous how we think we can control the country by controlling the messages. And it's true, you can. Everybody knows it. You can control people through music. You can control people through TV. The narrative that you push on them through the media, through the news, right? So I don't know why people think everything that come on the TV and everything that come on the radio, these people are like these saints. They're holier than thou, and they're telling you the truth. These people a lot of times are reading scripts and telling you telling you what they telling you because they told to say that shit. That's how they get their paycheck. Now YouTube might not like this. I have no problems with nobody and their sexual preference. I have no problem with nobody and their religious vows or their skin color or anything else like that, right? But I do understand that after a while people get tired of being in a box. They want something different. They want to be able to own. People get tired of people owning their intellectual property or their talents. They want to be able to be like, hey, I want to own my own masters. I want to be my own master. See, when you talk about music, you talk about masters. That's like a fucking slave right there. You want to be your own master. You know what I'm saying? You to master your own destiny. Why would you work hard and create all this music and do all that only to let somebody else, because they give you a platform to do it on 85, 90% of your of all your intake, and the masters and everything you get. It's just, you know what I'm saying? Well, we put you, and here's what they do. They keep telling you how they put you on and how they made you a big star, how they did this, how they did that for you. You know, this is what people do when they do stuff for you. You know what I'm saying? And it's a shame, man. Even now, you know, used to be back in the day when the DJs, you know, would take money to spin the records, right? They would, you know, it would be like some undercover thing. You knew they was doing it. You know what I'm saying? But ever since the Cadillac Records came out and they showed how Cadillac Records, before they had their record label, they was paying for you know, it's paying for, you know, you saw the what's name dude in the movie. If you ever saw the movie, he paid the DJ to spin Muddy's records. You know what I'm saying? Now that was illegal. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? To this day, that's exactly what this is all about. You know what I'm saying? A regular, everyday artist that goes into music, goes into the studio and pays money for the studio and gets his songs mixed and mastered, can't just say, "Hey, play my songs on the radio," because these DJs all want money. Everybody want to get paid. Oh, you want me to play your song? Oh, pay me. You got to pay me. Think the labels ain't paying these DJs? You know, in these radio stations, it's illegal to do it. They've been doing it for years. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm switching subjects, but what I mean by that is that it's always somebody controlling the narrative or controlling the people's hands. So the people ain't really in control. And so when we the people stand up and try to take control over it, then we anti-Semitic, we racist, we this, we that. You know what I'm saying? Shut them down, censor them, make them be quiet. You know, it's like for real. It's literally like the rapist. And I'm not calling because you take if you take stuff from people, you raping them. If they don't want you taking it and you take it from them, then you raping them. But like, I'm not doing anything. You the one signed the contract. Yeah, hence the word of the prefix of the word is the fucking word in the beginning, CON, which is nothing but a fucking con. Well, it's not my fault. You didn't read your contract and you don't understand all of the logistics behind it. Man, when we gonna start doing people right in this country? When we gonna start doing fair business practices? Ain't no such thing as that in America. America has always been shady with its business practices overseas, here amongst the people and everything else. And if you speak up, then you a hater, you a you know what I'm saying, you a racist, you a this, you a that. And you know, I don't agree with 100% of what nobody says. Like they can't nobody tell me everything out their mouth and I'm like, ooh, I believe everything they said. You know, you like Jesus talking out your mouth or Buddha or somebody, you know what I'm saying? No, I just listen, I sit and I listen and I hear stuff and I hear little words and little gestures of people and I'm like, man, that ain't right. You know what I'm saying? And it's a shame that in this time and day and age, our country's so fucked up that people don't even know right from wrong no more. They so blind to it. They so caught into getting what they want out of the deal and working for whoever they working for that they close their eyes and their ears to what's right. And we'll literally get on air and act like they on the other side. And really, they don't even really believe it themselves. They don't really totally agree with them, but they got to say what they got to say before a paycheck. See what happened when somebody else is paying your bills? Yeah, you doing the work, but you getting the check from them. You know, people all, you know, it's a lot of these people all here running around here talking, I'm a boss. Remember that shit was a big, you know, I'm a boss, the boss, big boss, and all that, you know. But you really do want to be your own entrepreneur. You really want to have your own walk in life, make your own money. Because if you don't, you work for somebody else and you under their ruleship. And that's the thing of capitalism in this country. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times people don't want to lose favor when they making them big checks and they're getting them big money. They the wrong thing. People canceling people. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen so many people try to get threatened to be canceled in all of my life. In all my life that I've been living and I done seen people heard people talk and say things about things in life. See, what it is now that it's social media and everybody else can hear it and see what you're saying. Now they want to try to cancel people. You know what I'm saying? Before social media, these people, you can say what you want to say behind closed doors, you know, blah, 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 whatever. Then nobody give two fucks. You know what I'm saying? But now that social media is like popping and it's hot, everybody is on edge because I'm gonna keep it real with you. If you censoring somebody, it's because you know something they saying is the truth. Or even if they lying, because here's the thing, if let's just say somebody on here and they just straight up lying, they just making up a bunch of shit, they just all off the place, why do you give a fuck if you censor them or not? You so sensitive, you think some other people gonna actually believe what they saying? Well, maybe they will. And that's what I'm saying. When it comes to the truth, it's always three sides to every story. Okay? And most folk don't know this. They act like they know it. They know it when they feel like they got something going on. They don't even know when they got it going on. Let me keep it real with you. When they got something going on, they think their truth is the truth. They don't want to believe that their truth is somewhere it lies in them. The truth lies somewhere in the middle between them and whoever the other person they got going on with. And that's the same thing in these industries and these music and TV and in the world every day that we live in. It's three sides to every story. Okay, so even when they come to this anti-Semitic comments and all so carrying on, it's three sides to that story. It's the one person who's saying what they're saying. It's the Jewish community and how they feel about it, and somewhere in the middle lies the truth about what that person that said about it, or what they said about business practices and how black folk don't own shit. And it seems like, you know what I'm saying, that community owns a lot of our, I'm just saying, it's just you look up and you see they own the football team, they own this, and if you say anything about them, oh, you anti? No, I'm not anti nothing. I just would like, I would, in my time and day and age of living in this world, I didn't watch football since the day of Brian Sipe and Bernie Kosar. I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and now I'm watching Deshaun Watson and turn the football and Kobe Brissett. The whole goddamn quarterback station is black. I remember when all we had was Randall Cunningham and Warren Moon. And they act like black guys couldn't even be quarterbacks. So don't act like we can talk about Black Lives Matter, but we can't talk about the truth of people being racist in sports and these politics and everything else. We'll put a black face up there, but everything behind it, everything underneath that and color coded, because it's just you just a black face. That's all you are. You ain't. That's not making no effect. That ain't no change. They're like, we letting black folk do this now. So now we supposed to be feeling like, ooh, they threw us a bomb, and we ought to be grateful. You know what I'm saying? And shut up and just go on. You know what I'm saying? Although we're 20 something years behind the revolution and for where we can live in peace and be equal. And then, you know what I'm saying? And not, you know what I'm saying? But you know how it is. You know how it is. They throw us a bone. You see a couple black guys going to touchdown and got some millions of dollars and rapping and shit, and you think it's cool. Oh, we killing our own off. Yeah, we are. We are. That's what happened when you ain't got no training in your life, and you're young and you're wild, and you out here thinking, you know what I'm saying, this is how you handle your business when ain't nobody taught you how to, you know what I'm saying, how to behave and how to, you know what I'm saying, this ghetto mentality that we carry around all the time, you know what I'm saying, we don't do it to nobody else but ourselves. We don't do it to other communities, you know what I'm saying? And then if we speak up and the first thing they do is call us racist. But let me tell you something. Black folk ain't never did nothing racist to nobody in this country. Now, we might have said some, you can say racial slurs and comments or have racial ideas, but doing something racist to somebody, like enslaving them, like genocide against them, like redlining them and keeping them from getting credit and access to the capital, those are racist moves. Somebody not liking something you doing in business and calling your ethnicity out and saying that it's a lot of y'all all doing the same thing. It's not a fucking racial slur. And for y'all to write that shit and say, oh yes it is. Look right here. This is what it says in the Webster's dictionary. Yeah, because you wrote the motherfucker and set it up for that because you knew it was coming around. Like if I knew of one day all of a sudden German people was gonna start talking bad about black folk, and I could go ahead in front of them because what we have been doing to black folk, German people for years. Black folk have been whooping German people ass for years, and eventually German people step up and start speaking about about the revolution that they want to have, because they tired of black folk whooping their ass for years, and every time we see them on the street we beat them up. We being tyrants towards them or whatever. And then if I set up and say, if you say anything about blacktism, and if you say anything about us whooping your ass, then you a Nazi, you a German Nazi, and set it up ahead of time for them, so they like, well, we've been under this code for these black folk all these years, and if we say anything about how they treat us and how we want our own freedom, we want to own the majority of the football teams as the owners. We don't just want to be the players. We don't just want to dunk the basketball. We want to own the teams too. Because we didn't put enough work and effort into all those years for all the for those things that we should have some owners. We should have some, like the Clippers should have been bought. When that dude said what he said about that racial slur that he said about black people, and they recorded that shit, they should have sold that team to a black person, and they didn't. They still playing the same. Oh, look, hey, we see y'all, but you know what I'm saying, this is how we gonna do it here. Look, you know what I'm saying? we gon' we got our little, it's just certain capital that you might, that as a black person you don't have access to, and they ain't gonna let you have it. And then they be like, that's not racist. It may not be racist, but it's placism. And if I'm saying, and what I'm saying is not racist. What I'm saying is it's just an open conversation to say, hey man, you know what I'm saying? How is it 2022 and you can't speak on a man's color? You can't speak on a man's actions. You can't say, hey man, this don't feel right. This ain't, we ought to be, this ain't just, why is it 2022 and we still out here, we shall overcome, and protesting this shit? Don't nobody see nothing wrong with that? We shouldn't have to protest nothing. Right is right and wrong is wrong. No matter what your skin color is, no matter what your ethnicity is, no matter what your religion is, no matter how much money you got, or business or whatever, software, right is wrong is wrong. And it's a damn shame that people don't want to operate by that, because they too busy operating by their Republican Party or their Democrat Party or their Muslim faith or their Christian faith. But here's the thing: your book and your indoctrination to whatever religion or belief system that you have, right? If it don't make you a righteous person, if you can separate your politics from your religion, then you ain't really a holy person, are you? You don't really care about right and wrong. It's only convenient for you to do that when, you know what I'm saying, well, I'm a sinner and I'm whatever whatever you tell yourself. You know what I'm saying? Right is right and wrong is wrong. Bottom line. And it's a shame that in 2022, as grown people, we don't know this. We so busy trying to shove some fake shit down somebody else's throat. Oh, believe this, believe that, because everybody in this world just want their way. And the best way to get your way is by fooling the people and confusing them and making them think that you on the side of what's right. And how can you do that? Just control the narrative. You control what they see on TV, control the news, you control the media, you control the radio, you control all the outlets. You know what I'm saying? And the next person come on, they repeat the same shit you said. And the next person come on, they repeat the same thing you said. It's like playing the same fucking 8, 9, 10 songs all day, every day on the radio station. And no matter how many times people turn that station on, it's the same 10 songs. There are 3 sides to every story. When you start figuring that out, you're going to be a better human being and a better person, okay? If somebody tell you something about something that's going on, they might be telling you the straight truth, their version of it. But if you ain't talk to the other person about what's going on, you don't know. But you were so busy, you were so quick, depending on who that person is, to believe what they telling you, or what party they in, or what religion they in, or what status they have are they a preacher, or are they a lawyer, or whatever. We honestly think in this country, if you got some kind of status, you couldn't possibly be lying. You know what I'm saying? We got to start fact checking the fact checkers. Okay, that's where we at with it. Now, some people, some platforms ain't gonna like this. You know what I'm saying? But that is the truth. If you 30 some years old, like you in your 20s, you might not know this because you're young and you're dumb and you're wild. Okay, but if you 30 some years and older, you ought to know it's 3 sides to every story. Even with your kids. Your kids, if you got children and one of your children do something to the other kid, it's 3 sides to that story. It's his side, and then the other kid's side, somewhere in the middle, lies the truth. Figure it out. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you should do everything in life, in your relationships, and everything that you do. But as long as you one-side some shit, then the people that know you one-sided, they banking on you being one-sided, so they can use that against you, so they can control how you feel about the situation. If I'm a part of a political party and I know you rock with that party, shit, I can use that to my advantage. Cause you gonna rock with me no matter if I'm right or wrong. No matter what I say or do, as long as I throw that party name up in front of there, you know what I'm saying? And that sounds to me like some fucking gang shit. You ever roll with your cousins and went and did something, with somebody, against somebody because your cousins and them got into some shit and you down there with them. Now your cousins might be wrong as 2 left feet, but you just rolling with them because they're your cousins. family over everything, right? They could be wrong as hell. You know what I'm saying? But you don't care because they family. This is how people are when they come to their politics. This is how people are when they come to their religion, when they come to they even they priests. You know, priests, you know what I'm saying? How many, and not to talk bad about people in a position of power, but if you're in a position of power, you hold more authority, you more accountable for that shit. So you sleeping with little kids and all this carrying on, you doing this all carrying on, and y'all still, you know, holding these people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all still messing with these people, y'all still dealing with these people. You got these guys, these preachers sleeping with these women, married and still sleeping with the women. Y'all still running under their church and running under their leadership. Like, when y'all gonna grow up and realize that everybody that's that holler Lord, Lord, or holler your party, the party that you like or whatever, ain't, you know, aren't held accountable and aren't doing the right thing by, you know what I'm saying, by we the people. This ain't no one party country. This is exactly why. I mean, and technically we shouldn't have no parties at all. We should be united as one. That you can tell right there that ain't nothing but a distraction, so that nobody gets nothing that they're supposed to get. So that we can all, as Americans, fight amongst ourselves. The Civil War wasn't good enough. They want to fight some more. All right, y'all might work, man. I know I was rambling on a few things, but I'm just looking at this world, man. I'm looking at I'm talking about, you can't even watch sports without these people sprinkling their political beliefs and telling you who's crazy and who right. You ain't got no right to say nothing about nobody. Report the fucking sports and get off the mic. It's not because I agree with the other side. It's because you haven't done the fucking research to see where in the left and on the right and somewhere in the middle lies that truth. You know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. This is how you know it's probably more right than left, because all the motherfuckers that's saying it is the ones that's going strictly for the left. That let me know you trying to hide something. Everything in this country fucked up and you still talking bullshit. It's funny how you can talk shit when gas ain't affecting you, when water and electric and you know what I'm saying, and rent and mortgages and shit ain't affecting you, and food prices ain't affecting you, right? Or maybe it is, and you so down with your shit, with the people you fuck with, that even in the midst of them fucking over everybody and you getting fucked over too, you just gonna shut up and take it up the ass and be quiet, so everybody else will too. Convince us it's okay. Make a grown man shake his head. You know, this sounds like some people that I remember I was in a I read a story, like I was dating this girl and then something happened or whatever, and we had got serious with each other, you know, at one point in time. It was like years ago, like shit, damn near 30 years ago. And you know, we ended up in a situation where I found out she was kind of, you know, not being, you know, truthful with me or whatever. And the person that told me wanted me to act like I didn't know and just carry on. Well, you know, you never know. You gotta try to, you know, work these things out. Ain't nothing working out. You cheating with somebody else. You sleeping with somebody else. How you gonna work that out? You ain't have enough respect for me to tell me, hey, this is what's going on with me sexually. This is what I need. This is what you ain't giving me. Whatever the case might be. Or I'm just a hoe and I like to fuck around. You can't. Some things you can't fix in life. Some things is just broken. And people don't want to admit when something is broken. That's why some things can't be fixed. Some things just gotta stay broken. Some relationships gotta stay broken. Some, you know what I'm saying? And here's the thing. I never thought that politics would be one of those things. I thought that we would always be able to come together as some type of way eventually, right? And all these years, America been still acting like damn children. Well, Donald Trump was acting like a child. Well, what you expect when you hang around a bunch of kids, you start acting like one yourself. And what I mean by that is that those parties been acting childish and immature and racist and throwing each other under the bus for fucking years. Come on, man. If I see one more trash ass video on somebody, don't get me wrong, I don't mind you telling the truth about somebody's political background and what they did, but all they do is throw each other under the bus. You know? And here's the thing. Yeah, sometimes you need to hear the truth about somebody to know if they a good candidate or not, or what they got going on in life. If you can't rule your own house, you damn sure can't rule the country. The point I'm making is that I'm tired of the facade. I'm tired of the lies. I'm tired of people not telling the whole truth. because they got either their religious beliefs or their political beliefs, and they getting a huge slice of that pie from that end, and they don't want to be honest and be truthful about it. And then I'm tired of these media platforms. If you ain't saying a certain thing a certain way, then they ain't down with you either. So they'll censor you or shadow ban you or whatever the case may be. Shadow banning is true too. They do that too. It's just you know what I'm saying. Eventually is America gonna sue the media companies? Is the government gonna shut them down? Eventually remember how cigarettes used to have commercials and all that. And they kept doing it so much that eventually, some political person came around and said, I think it was Bill Clinton, that said, we're going to shut these commercials down and do anti-smoking commercials. No, I didn't. I don't think it decreased the smoking in America. I don't think it helped. I don't know how that helped, but at least they start spreading the propaganda about cigarettes being good when you know the shit ain't good for you in a way. And they wasn't saying it was good, but when you talking shit to encourage people to buy cigarettes, that's ridiculous. We need, what I'm saying? We don't never want to encourage to do nothing right in this country. That's why I got a problem with it. That's my biggest problem with this country. We don't encourage the right things. You know what I'm saying? We encourage this all inclusive. Let's all just agree to, in the same way. Sometimes we're not gonna all agree the same way. And as in this country, we ain't learn how to agree. We ain't learn how to agree to disagree without doing shady ass shit to each other. That's immature in my opinion. But it is what it is. All right, y'all. I gotta get out of here. Peace.